In today's video, I'm going to show you how to build one of the easiest and efficient raid farms and place it above one of the ominous bottle farms. This farm will produce unlimited emeralds and totems, making it a must farm for your world. We have a lot to cover, so let's get into the build. The second part of our raid farm is going to consist of building a structure way up in the sky so that we can generate raids. And if you decide to build this, we're going to have to find the center, which we identified in the last video. But if you don't decide to build this, just find the center of your roof of your pillager outpost. The items we're going to need for this build are all in these shulker boxes. Now I'm standing on the center of our pillager outpost. So what I'm going to do is go up to level 126 on the y-axis and start our build for our raid farm right here. First, you're going to identify where you have placed your water column in order to deliver you the ominous bottles. Now that I know mine's over here, I'm going to have the AFK area of my farm to the right of that. So I'm going to start this way by putting leaf blocks down. And my AFK area is going to go 6 blocks in this direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then directly across from our AFK area, we're going to go up 5 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then come back to the center and go out 4 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then directly across from that, we're going to go out 3. Now what we want to do is fill in all the blocks from here with leaf blocks. All right, once that's completed, now go ahead and we're going to remove this center block of scaffolding and replace down our block that we're going to put our redstone on. So I'm going to use quartz. You can use any block that's non-transparent at this point. And then go behind that block of quartz and add yourself a dropper, so that the dropper is facing the back of your raid farm. Coming out of that dropper, we're going to add a comparator. This comparator is going to measure anything that's inside of this dropper. Then that comparator is going to go inside of a block. Now remove the leaf block and replace it with your block for your redstone. Add a piece of redstone, block on either side of that. Now we'll remove this block here, add down a block, repeater on top of that. Remove this block, add a block down here, redstone dust on top of that block, and then we can place down a target block right next to our dropper. Now what this circuit will do is every time something goes into this dropper, it'll activate this clock, turning this dropper on and spitting the item out. Get a hopper and place it going into the top of your dropper. Then we're going to add 3 more hoppers going into that hopper. So 1 like this, 1 in here, and 1 there. Now surround the hoppers with the block of your choice for building. Now it's time to build the Trident Killer. We're going to go ahead and place a piston here, turn to the left, 1 here, turn to the left, 1 there, and finally 1 there. Then fill the blocks in between the pistons. Now we want to add our observers so that they're next to each piston with the back of the piston facing the observers, just like this. Then add a block on top of each piston. And finally, add your trap doors to the front of each observer. And when you put in the last trap door, the Trident Killer will begin to start. And then from the front of our Trident Killer, add a lever here, and you can turn it off. Now on the sides and the back of this Trident Killer, we're going to add 7 more blocks tall. Once you've got your sides and your back all built 7 high, go to the back right piston, go up 2 blocks above that, and add a sign. Now we're going to add a sign 1 above this to the left, and then 1 above it to the right, just like this. From here, add a bucket of lava above the first sign that you've placed, and the lava should just suspend in the air there, thanks to our signs. Now go on the outside of your structure, on this piston here to the right, place a block there, then grab a bucket of water and place water on the piston that you just placed the block on. Now we could fill the front of this with glass and then surround the whole top with leaves. Now come to the side of the raid farm. We're going to add a row of blocks starting with our Trident Killer. And once you have that done, add 4 more rows to the top of that. Now do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Now go ahead and add your tridents to the piston that's right here. I'm going to add 3 tridents in there with impaling 5 on them. You could add 1, but I want this to be a quick kill. Now the next part is a little bit challenging. We're going to go down there and get ourselves a villager. And we're going to bring him up here into a little area that we build for them. Now we're going to put our little room in for our villager. So we're going to come behind our dropper, and we're going to remove these 2 blocks here. Add 2 temporary blocks, and then place down a bed on top of those blocks. We could remove those 2 blocks. And then on top of the bed, we're going to add 2 leaf blocks. Then directly above the pillow, go ahead and surround that. That is where your villager is going to be standing. Now go ahead and add leaf blocks on the tops of this all the way around. So to put in your collection system, I placed in a tower of scaffolding to the ground right behind the dropper where it's spitting out the items. If you go underneath the dropper and we get rid of this block here, we can add 2 leaf blocks here and then place 1 in front of our dropper. Now once we head down to our scaffolding area, right here is where the items are going to flow out. So we can place down a block of our choice and run some leaves along the side here. And if we bring those leaves out 8 blocks, we can get rid of this row of scaffolding, back out to the area underneath the block that we placed down. Now add yourself a row of leaves underneath your block that you placed down. We can go back up top, temporarily remove this block, place down a bucket of water on that block you added, and that should flow to the very end, and then replace your leaf block back. Now every time that dropper spits items out, it will flow down this water stream, and we can find out exactly where it's going to land at the bottom. Go ahead inside to your dropper, add some random items, and the dropper is going to begin to spit those out. Now to find out where they flow, we can see them landing down there on the ground. And this area right here is where it's all landing. So what we can do is put in a water landing area and a collection system right here. So let's put in 5 blocks this way, and then 4 more out this way. And what we could do is make a 5x5 square around this. And then once you have your 5x5 area, go ahead and place a bucket of water in each corner. And here you'll see everything then begins to flow to the middle. We can dig out this block, remove these 2 blocks, and these 2 blocks. Place down a double chest, remove this block here, and add a hopper into that double chest. Place down a glass block here, and now all your items will fall from up top into this pool of water, which flows it into this hopper, which flows it into this double chest. So to really maximize this farm, you can go ahead and put in an item sorting system. Using the new crafter, you can actually put in areas for emeralds to be crafted correctly into emerald blocks, as well as redstone being placed as redstone blocks. I also attached a water item elevator all the way to the top so that ominous bottles can be retrieved as I'm standing up there, along with the redstone torch tower to turn on and off the switch for the Trident Killer for that ominous farm. And then the last thing you have to do is spawn proof the area by putting down leaves on every available surface, including the water catch area that we put scaffolding on the bottom so that the mobs only spawn in that little chamber way up in the sky. I hope everybody had a great day. I hope everybody learned how to build and use a raid farm. If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.